And it was another summer-like day here across western New York. Temperatures were in and around the 80s. I'll let you know if we saw a new record high coming up.
Plus, New York State has new guidelines for social distancing in schools, why Erie County's Health Department is warning districts to be careful before making changes. And we're learning new details about a man who was shot and killed on Buffalo's East Side. The emotional message from his mother tonight.
You're watching News 4, your local news leader. Now, live from Buffalo, this is News 4 at 6.
All right, let's begin your 6 o'clock news with the weather on this Saturday evening. You are taking a live look outside over downtown Buffalo. Just a beautiful end to a beautiful day. Good evening. Today, Buffalo tied the current record high for this day, hitting 82 degrees, but it may be the end for this taste of summer. Forewarned meteorologist John Cubitt is in tonight with your forecast, and he is tracking some change on the way. John?
Hey, Erica, that's right. We are looking at some change in the forecast for tomorrow, the second half of this week, and we are going to expect to see some rain. Temperatures are going to come down quite a bit, but we are going to continue to remain warm here across western New York. 82 was the record high today, and that's what we topped out as. We tied the record, which was set back in 1945 at the Buffalo International Airport at 2:54 today, this afternoon. I know we were looking for just one more degree so we can surpass it, but we just didn't get enough sunshine in the mix. Clouds started to move in throughout the afternoon, and we're going to continue to see them move throughout this evening. That's going to set things up for some rain getting across the western New York getting into tomorrow. Numbers are still hanging around the 80s, mostly a couple of upper 70s, mid 70s as you head down toward the south towns, and we're seeing again a change anywhere from 5 upwards to 15 degrees warmer today than where we were yesterday. Now, your satellite and radar picture, again, quiet for now, but we are watching a disturbance which will bring some showers overnight, maybe even some rumbles of thunder, and we can see that into the start of tomorrow morning. Now, coming up later on in your full 4-1 forecast, I'll talk to you more on the timing of this rain, as well as a look at your full 7-day. Erica?
Thank you, John. Erie County's Health Department is asking school districts to carefully review the state's new guidelines before moving forward. Yesterday, the state announced the required social distancing in classrooms has been cut down to 3 feet apart. Now, the state is keeping the 6-foot rule for some circumstances, like during lunch when masks are off and in gyms and hallways. The Health Department stresses that before districts make any decisions, they should remember that the county is in the midst of a COVID spike driven by younger people. But officials say ultimately the decision comes from each school district. And the New York State United Teachers is applauding the state's revised guidelines, but says distancing is only part of a layered mitigation strategy. Union President Andy Pallotta added, quote, "There also is more to be done to strengthen safety protocols. While the state recommends that districts strongly consider implementing screening testing, we believe there is zero excuse for all districts not to implement routine testing as soon as possible." And we at News 4 will keep an eye on any changes coming to local school districts. A coalition of small business owners is trying to educate their communities about the safety of the COVID-19 vaccines in order to get the economy back on track. And as Alexandra Limon reports, they hope more business owners around the country will do the same.
Las Vegas small business owner Shondell Newsom says the COVID-19 vaccine is key to helping small businesses like his recover from the pandemic.
One of the things we say is take your shot. This is your shot to fight COVID-19 and get rid of this pandemic in our community.
And small businesses are joining together to spread the word.
We get a lot of skepticism, right? Because people are saying, well, the vaccine, it just came out of nowhere.
A coalition of small business owners called Reimagine Main Street wants other business owners to pledge to inform their employees and communities that the vaccines are safe and effective.
Rhett Buttle helped found that group to help minority-owned small businesses recover.
We think small business owners, as one of the most trusted institutions in our country, definitely have a role to play in educating both their employees but also their community about the importance of vaccinations.
Reimagine Main Street is working to share accurate and reliable information about the vaccine. For example, that the science behind the vaccine had been in development for decades.
Involving basic clinical and preclinical science that had been underway out of the spotlight for decades before the unfolding of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're not only encouraging local business owners to get involved, we're encouraging business leaders.
And so far, hundreds of business leaders around the country have signed the pledge to do vaccine outreach. Reporting in Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Back here at home, Buffalo firefighters think squatters could be to blame for a fire in the Black Rock neighborhood. Crews responded to Gorton Street early this morning. Fire started in the first floor before spreading throughout the home. We're told one firefighter hurt his or her eye while fighting this fire. The Red Cross is helping 4 adults and 2 children displaced by a fire on the city's east side. This fire broke out around 2 this afternoon near Easton and Bailey and caused more than $60,000 in damage. The cause of both fires are under investigation. Well, Buffalo police are asking for your help tonight to find the person responsible for killing a 20-year-old football coach just about 2 weeks ago. News 4's Angelica Morrison joins us live with the latest from police. Angelica?
That's right, Erica. It's the latest in what Buffalo police say has been a deadly year for shootings in the city of Buffalo. 20-year-old Trent Sink died after police say he was shot multiple times outside a home on C Street near Fillmore. It happened just after 8 at night on March 29th. He was taken to ECMC where he later died. Now, although police say this was a targeted incident, Trenton's family can't understand why someone would want to hurt him. In addition to college and sports, he spent the last few years putting together a flag football team for the area youth.
He did start his own league, flag football league, and that started just before COVID. He's been working on it for the past 2 years, and it was a point to get people out of the streets, have a little fun. Basically, if you have a goal in football, you can play with them.
Now, recently updated numbers from the Buffalo Police Department show there's been 72 shootings this year, and 20 of those have been homicides. Now, anyone with information is asked to contact the Buffalo Police Department's tip line. You can find that number on our website, WIVB.com. In Buffalo, Angelica Morrison, News 4.
Thank you, Angelica. After more than a year, the Pierce Arrow Museum in Buffalo is opening back up to the public. The museum tells the story of Buffalo's contribution to the history of cars. For its grand opening, the museum is bringing out cars from its collection that haven't been seen in 50 years. And the museum founder says they're planning on expanding.
We're leaving it all to Buffalo, so it's going to be here for 100 years, we hope. We just acquired 2 buildings next door. We're acquiring the streets in between. We're going to have a 16-acre campus for giant car shows and truck shows and all kinds of events for families.
The museum is open from 11 until 4 on Saturdays, but there are plans to also expand its hours later this spring. Well, after getting out from behind bars for more than 3 decades, one person had an interesting choice for his first stop in freedom. One local man decided to put socializing on the back burner and seeing family or friends first for some movie theater popcorn. Last night, a man was driving down Hurdle Avenue, spotted the North Park Theater, and went in for some fresh popcorn. He told the folks there this was his first stop and the first thing he wanted to eat after serving 32 years in prison.
He was very, very quiet, introverted man, but he was seemed very amiable character, and it brought a smile to his face. And so, for someone who's paid their debt to society, I'm glad they can enjoy a little popcorn. Also, glad to know that our reputation for having the best popcorn in town is still here after 32 years.
That's a good point. We don't know who the man is, though. Program Director Ray Barker said the North Park Theater didn't charge him for the popcorn. This bag was on the house. Still to come at 6, Western New York Raptor and Wildlife Care is looking to expand. Why they need your help to do it. And we're getting a first look inside Canalside's new long shed. We'll explain how it's telling a key piece of Buffalo history.
You're watching News 4 at 6 with Erica Brecher and meteorologist Jonathan Cubitt.